So I had my dream job at Nickelodeon. I was in the research department. And so my entire job was to represent kids, right? And to talk about what they loved, what they liked, and to kind of be the uncool one, right? At Nickelodeon, who at the time, MTV, VH1, and Nickelodeon were all part of the same family, right? So Nick always wanted to be cool. And they were like the little brother, little sister, right? So, anyway, so being the one who always had to represent the kids, I was always a little bit of an unpopular opinion. So everyone was talking about Barney back in the day, like, oh, that's awful. And I was like, yeah, but I kind of know why it's so successful. And it was like complete silence. Anyway, another story for another time. Because of all of this, I was called into the room for a pitch meeting for the new big game show that Nick Jr. for preschoolers wanted to do. And I was so excited, like picked out my outfit for days, like ridiculous. So we go into this little conference room and there's about four of us and I'm the kid expert. Okay, so I'm sitting in there, and the first person is coming in from a very prominent production company, right? And they had done and created shows before. And so there was a big preamble about who they were and how this was probably going to be the idea that's going to change everything for Nick Jr. And so I was just like one of those, like, so excited, pretending to write down notes even before they came in. So they walk in, and it was this, like, beautiful little presentation, right, about how it's going to change the world, and this is going to be the show that's going to put Nick Jr. on the map. And it was everything that we wanted to hear, right? And so I'm watching and listening, and they start to talk about how what they're envisioning is preschoolers. And the way they said it was just already like tipped me off. But anyway, preschoolers standing in a line behind a little kiosk, and we give them each a clicker. And I'm thinking, I kind of got quiet, and I was like, how old are we thinking? And they were like, 8 or 9-year-old kids. And I said, well, preschoolers are 2, 3, 4. They're like, okay, so 4-year-old kids are sitting behind this kiosk, and they have the little clicker, and we're going to ask them questions, and then we're going to, see of the three of them, which one knows all the answers. And I was like, what kinds of questions do we think we're going to ask? And they're like, who was the first president of the United States? And I was like, okay, 3-year-old, how about what color is the color of an apple? And of course everyone's laughing at me as if this is like the worst thing they've ever heard. But in reality, I was thinking, this is the worst thing I'd ever heard. And so, of course, having Jersey chutzpah, I was a little like, making this like kind of not nice face. However, I think I'm running out of time. Part 2 next.